In this episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I interview the cast of Wheel of Time from Prime Video's Season 3 of the show, plus two-time Academy Award winner Cate Blanchett and Naomie Harris and Tom Burke discuss their new film, Black Bag. Let's go!
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I, of course, am Kyle McMahon, and I am so thankful that you are here for another episode of Pop Culture Weekly. This is a great episode. No co-host on our rotating panel of co-hosts today because it's all interviews. We have a lot of interviews today. The first set revolving around Season 3 of Prime Video's Wheel of Time, which is such a great series. It's really great for fantasy fans, drama. I'm really enjoying it. And Season 3 is an awesome addition to, the story and the series. So we also have the cast of Black Bag, the new Steven Soderbergh movie, which is really good. I don't know if you saw my review, but you can go to popcultureweekly.com and check it out. I love this movie. It is so good. So I speak with Cate Blanchett, the two-time Academy Award-winning Cate Blanchett, as well as Tom Burke and Naomie Harris, all about that. So we're going to jump right into it with all of these interviews. First up, The Wheel of Time. So The Wheel of Time, which Season 3 just premiered on Prime Video, it is a very high fantasy series based on the beloved book series by Robert Jordan. And it's set in this sprawling world where magic exists, but it's only wielded by certain women, which is a cool twist. The story follows Moiraine Domadrid, who is played by Rosamund Pike, who I freaking love. And she embarks on this quest to find the Dragon Reborn, which is a prophesized figure who will either save the world or destroy the world. So the series is packed with political intrigue, all these really cool epic battles, and very deep character arcs. And it's got a really diverse cast, including Rond Althor, who's played by Joseph Stradowski, who I love, and we'll be speaking with him soon, and so much more. And they all are navigating their fates in this world that is basically on the brink of war. So The Wheel of Time was developed by the showrunner, Rafe Judkins, who I also speak with. And, the critics have loved the series. It's been praised for its stunning visuals, its immersive world building, and really strong acting performances. So Season 1 was kind of the introduction to the world and all of its characters. And Season 2 expanded on that lore and really brought up the stakes. And now with Season 3 adapting loosely, based on the Shadow Rising book, fans can expect even more deep storytelling, bigger battles, and an exploration of the series' most beloved themes, which are basically destiny, power, and the balance between light and shadow, good and evil. So it's an epic ride for longtime fans of the books and fans of the series. It's really, really, Season 3 is just awesome. So let's start off with the interviews with the Wheel of Time Season 3 cast. First up, let's speak with Rafe Judkins, the showrunner, and actor Natasha O'Keeffe. So Natasha takes on the enigmatic and pivotal role of Lanfear, who is one of the most complex villains in the books, in the series. And alongside her, we have the showrunner himself, as I've been saying, Rafe Judkins. So they are going to give us exclusive insight into the making of Season 3, the adaptation process, and what's to come. So let's jump right in with Natasha O'Keeffe and Rafe Judkins. So, first of all, congratulations on the success of the series, and Season 3 kind of takes everything up a notch and, dives deeper and bigger. And I wonder what that, in this kind of pre-release moment, what that excitement feels like for you.
I mean, it's always crazy before the series comes out because we've put so much into it over so much time that there's this moment when like the rest of the world's about to see it that feels, it feels like the culmination of more than on other series I've worked on where you make it pretty quickly to when it airs. We were in the writer's room on this season in 2020, I think. And so, like to think of the amount of time it takes for a show like this to get to air, it's a really exciting feeling more than anything else. It's kind of like letting everyone else into our little secret.
Yeah. You can fly.
Yeah.
And were for both of you, how much did you? It's for me. It's interesting as a viewer and a fan that it's got to be. There's got to. I feel like there's. Or I don't want to put this into your minds if it isn't. So now I'm like nervous to say it. But is there any heaviness or responsibility you feel to having a work that's so celebrated that you're translating into a different form?
I mean, I always feel that because I really love the book series. So, you feel kind of the joy and weight of responsibility at all times of like, it's so incredible that we get to do this and have this rich world that we can dive into and bring to life. But you also have a responsibility to do the very best job you can with it. And so, yeah, well, I mean, I think we feel both of those things all the time. And every person on the show has a different interaction with the world of the books and the world of the show and how they view it. But, we really do feel a responsibility to do something great with it.
Oh God, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if I thought too much about it, I also might be feeling a little bit stunted. So there's this kind of like fine line that I personally walk as the actor that I must go with instinct and from what is given to me, these marvelous scripts and the sets and everything, the costume, all the gifts that I'm given as an actor. And yeah, but it is a responsibility. I do understand, but if I think too hard about it, it would scare
Yeah,
me.
you can't let it squash things.
Yeah.
Across all departments, we all feel that way of like,
Yeah.
you can feel sometimes where if it starts to squash on what you need on a TV show is you need everyone to feel like they're able to put their most into it and the show's at its best when everyone's bringing themselves to their part too. Like now the character of Lanfear, yes, she existed in the books, but now in the show she is Natasha, like pieces of Natasha are in the character. We write the character differently because of you. Like that is how TV should work. And so it's at its best when it does work that way. And you see the people who make it in the show too.
You can
I love. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, no. That's good.
I love that.
The essence of the actors. Oh,
Yeah.
sprinkle in. Yeah, they fold into the characters.
I love that. It's so interesting to hear both of you, obviously in two different roles, if you will, but for the same series. So I love hearing that contrast. Thank you both so much. I can't wait for everybody to see season 3 of The Wheel of Time exclusively on Prime Video. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Natasha O'Keefe and Rafa Judkins. Love the insight into the series and where it's going in season 3 and how it got here to season 3. The Wheel of Time is just so great. All right, next up, Danielle Henney and Sophie Okonedo. Daniel is the ever-stoic and deadly warder named Lan Mandragoran, and Sophie Okonedo is the commanding and wise Swan Sanche. So their characters share a complicated relationship with Moraine, so you can guess that season 3 is sure to bring some new challenges and maybe even some shifting allegiances. Here they are, Danielle Henney and Sophie Okonedo.
First of all, thank you both for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
How are you doing, Kyle?
Right.
I'm well, thank you. Congratulations on this series in general, but season 3 really, is kicking it up even more. What is it like for both of you to be on such a, giant series. I mean, big in kind of every way, epic.
It's incredible. I mean, it's grown so much since we started in 2019. It's our 6th calendar year now on the show. And we've gone from having basically 7 to 8 actors to almost 300. The show shoots in multiple units. So, I mean, we were shooting in South Africa, simultaneously shooting in the Czech Republic. It's really incredible to be a part of something so big, and not to mention the amazing sets and the amazing talent. It's just, it sounds cheesy, but it's really a dream come true.
And how about for you?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I didn't really know like how big it was, because when I started, I was coming in and out. I also don't do like any social media or anything, so I'm not really keeping. I don't really look on the internet very much. So I'm not really keeping. I don't have that influence. And then when I came back, and then there's a lockdown. There's things going. So everything was very separate. And then I came back for this season. I was like, this is massive. And also people come up to me and talk about it a lot, and people ask about it. So yeah, it's really and I hadn't realized how big it had become. And then this year I was just like, this is fantastic. I mean, just wandering through the huge, like where were based in Prague, and going through the studios and just seeing each room with a different character costume, the sets, people doing things in different parts. I mean, it was like a kind of whole world. And this was just one location. So it was, yeah, I didn't go to South Africa, so
Yeah.
amazing.
And for you, had you read the novels before, or any of the novels, either before you had been cast or when you had been cast?
I didn't read them before, and I haven't read them now.
Okay.
I had not read them before. I'm still reading now, but I've read quite a bit now. I was a fantasy fan, but I hadn't heard of the Wheel of Time growing up in Michigan. I don't know why. But as soon as I was cast, I jumped in, and it helped a lot.
Yeah, I can just about go through the scripts and understand it, and I've got Rafe there and everyone explaining everything, and then I understand the nuggets of the character. But I was like, I'm going to get lost if I go down.
It can be a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's when I did go on the internet, but because people have like posted stuff, like I got some people explaining the world to me, so that was like some of the fans actually.
Yeah, quite helpful actually.
I find it interesting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go now. You say anything.
Oh, I find it interesting, the contrast between the two of you in that regard. Just two actors that have chosen kind of different ways. I wonder, is that how you typically are in your careers? Like in one instance, you can go and you kind of have a Bible, if you will, in some ways. From having the novel, so you can kind of see where in this version your character is going, where, on the other hand, you can also just be like, you know what? No, I want to do this character my way in this story.
Yeah, I think that I've done quite a few things from novels, and I found for me personally, it's just been helpful to use the script as my Bible of the character, because I get to, this is the way my brain works. I can concentrate on one thing at a time. So and I can understand it drives the character. And then often I'm cast maybe against how the original author thought of them. So I don't want to bog myself down with that. I just want to have the essence of what's in the script. But that's what I go for. That's just my own personal choice. I kind of drop all that away and just have fun when I get there.
I love that. Thank you both so much. Did I cut you off? No. Okay. Oh, thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for everybody to see Wheel of Time Season 3 exclusively on Prime Video. Thank you.
Thanks.
Daniel Henney and Sophie Okonedo. Love speaking with them about the Wheel of Time. Up next, Kira Coveney and Ayula Smart. So Kira, who brings Elaine Tracken to life, and Ayula Smart, who is set to make her mark as the book fan favorite Avienda. These two fierce women are central to Rand's journey, and their own destinies are pretty epic themselves. Let's jump right into talking about these iconic roles, training, and all of that. Here they are, Kira Coveney and Ayula Smart.
So tell me, I got to start with, had you read the books or any of the books at all before you took on the roles?
I hadn't read the books before taking on the roles, but I have two older sisters, and both of them are longtime fans of the book. So I grew up with them, reading them like over and over again at my house as I was growing up. So they were very much part of my life, but I hadn't actually got to them until I was cast, and now I've read like 5.
Yeah, I hadn't read them myself, and it was so interesting having been cast and then speaking to people in my life and realizing how many people had read the books and what an important part of their life the texts were. But yeah, once I was cast, I dived straight into Eye of the World. But yeah.
And did you find that as you're, once you took the role, did you find that you had, I feel like when there's a pre-existing, content that this is based on, do you get kind of like fangirlish as you're seeing who's going to be your character, play out throughout the books?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool to have a text that's already there and a character that's already like fleshed out, and you don't have that work to do. It's more just finding how they exist within you or how you could bring them to life. But yeah, it's amazing, and the way that they're written and the strengths and flaws that they have, it's really interesting to just kind of like dissect them on the page and think about how that will kind of look. Yeah.
And how about for you, Ayula?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's always so exciting when you get to. I think with the books, because the information is there if you want it, and so to know the arc of a character, or like the kind of general arc of a character, there's such a gift beforehand. But then also to see where that gets cut in with the writers and this version of the story, and kind of every episode, or when you first get to read them, it's like, what, you don't know exactly, even though you have the books, you still don't know what it is exactly that's in store for you, I think, over the season, which is really exciting. But then when you do, you immediately have this huge amount of source material to reference and kind of play with and add with, and give you an understanding. I think where the writers and the source material really cross over, there's times where it is exactly like it is in the books, and you can kind of go back, and then there's like a whole chapter you can read, and you have for free all of these thoughts and ideas and like circumstances, and sometimes it's an amalgamation of other things, or it's like this kind of, or like new stuff, and it's like a really beautiful kind of navigation of both.
Yeah.
I love that. And actually, that's my time. Thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. And
Please take one more question. Apologies.
oh, no worries. Thank you.
You take one more question.
Thank you. So finally, what are you most looking forward to for, I got to watch a couple of the first episodes of season 3. What are you looking forward to people seeing themselves in season 3?
I think I'm really excited for the audience to see the new worlds that we explore. I think they're really exciting. They're really different, and not like anything we've seen on the show before. So I'm really excited to show everyone where they went.
Yeah, same. I think there's so much exciting and new stuff coming from all of the characters this season. I think it's a great season. I'm just really excited for everyone to see where it goes.
Yes, me too. Thank you both for speaking with me. The Wheel of Time season 3 exclusively on Prime Video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kira Coveney and Ayula Smart. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, pay the bills, and when we come back, I speak with Rosamund Pike and Joseph Stradowski. And then later in the show, 2-time Oscar-winning actress Cate Blanchett, Naomie Harris, and Tom Burke, who discuss their film Black Bag. Be back in 60. All right. Thank you for supporting our sponsors, which helps me bring the show to you every single episode. I love you for that. I love them for that. Let's dive in to the last of our Wheel of Time interviews. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills. And now the wheel has woven two incredible guests to Pop Culture Weekly. Joining us is the luminous Rosamund Pike, who brings the powerful and enigmatic Moraine Domered to life, and Zosha Stradowski, the rising star who embodies the dragon reborn himself, Rand al'Thor. Love, love, love these two actors. Rosamund made her breakthrough film role as Miranda Frost in Die Another Day. I guess I'll die another. Anyway, and she was also in Pride and Prejudice, Wrath of the Titans, Jack Reacher, The World's End, and of course, Gone Girl, which earned her a nomination for Golden Globe Award, British Academy Film Award, and the Academy Award for Best Actress. She won a Primetime Emmy for her role in State of the Union, the comedy miniseries, back in 2019. And Zosha Stradowski, all the way from the Netherlands. He, of course, played in Gran Turismo as Nicolas Capa, numerous films and movies over in the Netherlands, and now as Rand al'Thor in The Wheel of Time. So let's jump into my interviews with Rosamund Pike and Zosha Stradowski.
Thank you both so much for speaking. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Nice forwards. Well,
thank you. First of all, congratulations on the series and season 3, which I got to catch a few episodes of, and I'm excited now. I'm like, okay, I want the rest. But what's it been like for you both to be on such a big, huge, epic series, you know, filming in different countries and you know, in world, you know, in the series being kind of all over the place as well?
it's I mean, for me, really, really amazing. I'm Dutch, by the way, and so I come from Dutch land, and that scale, I've never seen anything like it before. So I remember in 2019 when I walked onto the set for the first time, I just couldn't believe how many people that were there. Like it felt like theater. You know, you do one rehearsal and there's like 300, 400, sometimes 500 people watching you, and you're like, this is insane. Can we please send them away? But then in the essence, it's still home. It's still like back home. It's just there is a camera, and in this case there might be a couple more or a drone or whatever, but you do respond in a way that you think is the essence of your character, and you listen to the other person, and that's still the same.
I love that.
It's been an amazing thing to be a part of. I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful stories, rich, and everybody has something interesting to do, which always leads to a fulfilling creative experience. You know, whether that's the people making the knives or the people working on the leather or the actors who all have fantastic characters. And this season, now that we're in the world, we broaden out the storylines and amazing new characters are coming in, you know, that attract really high caliber actors because the parts are juicy, interesting, complicated. You know, it's great stuff. And you know, we've got inspirational costume designer, set designer, hair and makeup team who are we're all working in harmony. It's become a family, and we're kind of flying right now.
And it's been so long. I mean, you guys, it's been what, 6 years now since you started on this?
2019, September, so 5 years.
5 years, and we're getting season 3 now, which is exciting from a viewer standpoint. Have either of you read the books at all, or any of the books, or did you kind of go in blind on purpose? Or tell me about that.
Both. We've both read most of it, right?
Yeah, you've read all of it. Yosh has read all 14 books. I've read 5 of them. And I've recorded 4 of them for audiobook. So I know them very well, but Yosha knows beyond what I know.
And Yosha, was that Was that like as a fan, or was that when you got the role, or?
No, when I got the role. Yeah, I when we were auditioning, everything was very secretive. So it felt very special, but they had some kind of weird name for my character, and I looked it up and I couldn't. Ridhan, they called him.
Oh, yes.
As I remember still, and I just couldn't find him online. So I thought, okay, whatever. And then it felt really important. And then after a whole day of auditioning in London, they called me up and they said, okay, the named character is Rand. And then I looked him up on Google and it said like one of the central figures, the hero, the antagonist, and the chosen one. And I was like, all right,
That's quite a
let me start reading. So I immediately started reading. And it was great. So much as an actor, that's what you wish for, so much source material.
Yeah.
And I took it really seriously. It's fast, but I was reading it as it was real.
I love that. I can't wait. I wish it was real. I could join in that world with you guys. All right. Thank you both so much. I can't wait for everybody to see season 3 of The Wheel of Time exclusively on Prime Video. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Zsuzsa Stradowski and Rosamund Pike. Love, love, love these two. Love The Wheel of Time. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out on Prime Video right now. It's so great. Start with season 1, obviously, because there's a world building and backstory and lore and some amazing battles. And when you get to season 3, hit me up because it is really good. Ups the stakes, as you've heard in, these interviews. So, all right. That is it for now for The Wheel of Time. Next up, we are shifting gears to talk about one of the most anticipated thrillers of the year, Black Bag. I told you about my review. My written review is up on podcast.popcultureweekly.com under reviews or popcultureweekly.com, whatever. And I loved it. I love this movie. It is reminds me of one of those old, big 50s Hollywood whodunits. It's really great. It follows Michael Fassbender, whose beloved wife, Catherine, is suspected of betraying the nation. They're both British intelligence agents. So George, played by Fassbender, has to face the ultimate test, loyalty to his marriage or loyalty to his country. It is really, really great. And it's, this gripping espionage drama thriller, and it's packed with secrets and betrayals and really powerhouse performances. So we're diving deep into it with 3 of the film's incredible stars. We have the legendary Cate Blanchett, whose command of the screen is literally unmatched. She brings elegance and intensity to every role she does. She's one of the most versatile actors of our time. She's delivered unforgettable performances in everything from Blue Jasmine, which I absolutely love, to Tar, Carol, to, of course, Galadriel in The Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite film franchises of all time. I'm obsessed with The Lord of the Rings. And, of course, she has won an Academy Award. That's an Oscar. Not just once, but twice, which made her the only actor to ever win an Academy Award for portraying an Academy Award-winning actor. I thought that was just a fun fact. She's one of only 4 actresses to win the Academy Award for Best Actress after winning Best Supporting Actress. And she's the only actress, and only one of 6 actors total in Oscar history to be nominated twice for playing the same role in 2 different films, once for Elizabeth and again for Elizabeth the Golden Age. She's been nominated for an Academy Award 8 times already. And her films have grossed over $9.8 billion at the worldwide box office. Her highest grossing, obviously, including the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy. But she was also in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I love that movie. And Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I love that movie. Thor Ragnarok. I love that movie. Ocean's 8, Cinderella, and on and on and on. She is, one of the best of the best. So anyway, I speak with Cate Blanchett, as well as the always brilliant Naomie Harris, whose magnetic performances in films like Moonlight and No Time to Die, the Bond movie, have made her a force to be reckoned with. And rounding out our trio today is the immensely talented Tom Burke, who continues to captivate audiences with his complex and layered characters, like in Strike and The Souvenir. So, buckle up. Let's hop right in. Here they are, Naomie Harris, Tom Burke, and Cate Blanchett.
Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Hi.
Okay, Con.
So, first of all, I love the film. It reminds me of like those old whodunits, and it's so stylish and slick and such just a great thriller. So, kudos to you all for that. Cate, if I may start with you. Catherine, I heard that you took the role without having read the entire script. Is that accurate?
Yeah, well, Naomi and I were going to make a different film with Stephen, actually, and it's a really quite a complicated one to make, and he had a slot because he's work to work, he back works to work. I can't speak English. He works back to back, so he then had this script that David Koepp had written that was perfect, and then he said, "Are you free?" And I said, "Well, I was going to work with you, so yeah, absolutely. What do you want me to do? Who am I playing? Who's going to be in it?" And all of those things were very deliciously answered. So it was an impossible thing to say no to.
I love that. And Naomi, your character as a psychiatrist, it's an interesting, I think, role for an actor. How do you kind of dive behind the psychology of playing somebody that deals with psychology?
Well, you work with a clinical psychologist, which was really, really helpful. Although one of the first things she said when she, read my scenes was no therapist would behave like that at all. But I actually really loved that. It gave me even greater insight into who Zoe, my character, is, because she's somebody who is so unorthodox in her methods. She knows the rule book. She's so intelligent that she knows how she should behave and she knows what works. But ultimately, she throws all of that out of the window because she's like, I'm just going to do what's effective. All that matters to me is that my spies complete their missions and maintain their mental health. And so she defines her moral compass is defined by her own set of weird beliefs. And I really like that because then you get to create a character on your own terms completely.
I love that. And Tom, your character is messy, I think it is one word to put it, and complicated as all of the characters are. How do you find inspiration when doing something? You don't strike me as a super messy life type of person. How do you find that space to be in, to play a role like this?
I think everyone's been in some place like that at some point in their life, and so it's he's very human to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you feel that as you're doing this, are you able to? I always find it interesting, different types of actors and the way they approach things. Some are just kind of go all in their role, and that kind of consumes their life for that period. Are you able to kind of separate the character from you at the end of the shooting day?
Yeah. But there's a magical if in anything. But if you're playing somebody who's been spiked with a drug that is also an invented drug that is whatever we want it to be, and I say to Stephen, in the midst of setting up for that scene, by the way, what do you think this makes me go loud or quiet or hot or cold, or what's the kind of flavors of it? He just said the words pure id. That's quite a freeing thing to be told by a director. Just go for pure id.
Yeah, and it comes across great from all of you. Cate, as you're reading the script, and really for all of you, it's so, as a viewer, I'm like at the edge of my seat the entire time. What's going to happen next? Who's going to say what? What's going to go on? Or do you have that same excitement reading the script, or do you read it from a place of where my character is going to be coming from?
I think I'm a really good audience. And so I read a script, incredibly quickly at first because I'm desperate to know what happens like an audience is. And that's how I know in the end what the audience experience will be, particularly when you know that it's going to be a director like Soderbergh shooting it. You've got a sense of how the narrative will unfold. But then I have to go back and then I just do that narcissistic dive where I just view it all from her perspective. And so, because it's in an ensemble piece like this, it's really important to know what your function is. And so which piece of the story you're responsible for conveying when. And when my character, because, I mean, everyone's a suspect, but I knew she was also a suspect. So there had to be sort of an unknowable remove to the way I think I played her. At least that's what I did. Maybe another actor would do it differently. But yeah, so that came out of the sort of second read. But I loved the first read. Like you, I wanted to know exactly what, how this would end.
Right. I love it. I can't wait for everybody to see Black Bag. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too.
Cate Blanchett, Naomie Harris, and Tom Burke. Love Black Bag. Love Cate Blanchett. Love all three of those actors. But guys, I just talked to Cate Blanchett. This is like on my bucket list, so I can cross it off. 2-time Academy Award-winning actor, Cate Blanchett, one of the greatest actors of our time. I can't believe it. In any event, Black Bag is out right now. I love it. Go see it. If you want a spy thriller, a espionage drama, anything like that, well acted, intelligent, any adjectives like that, go see Black Bag. It is well worth your time. And Steven Soderbergh, like, how can you go wrong with Steven Soderbergh? Such a awesome, director, creative. All right. That is our show for this week. Of course, we have awesome stuff coming up for you, so continue to check it out. Check out the YouTube. I've been really uploading a lot of stuff up there, especially some older interviews that the videos were never up. So now we're going through that. I did break my kneecap trying to dunk, which sucks. So, if you don't see me as often as usual for the next 2 months, I can't drive, which has been, as you know, like torture for me. So that's what's going on. But hang in there with me. I'll be posting a lot more to YouTube and the blog on podcast.popcultureweekly.com. Those are all in the show notes. I will see you next episode. All right. I love you. We out.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.
It's a black bag, it's a black bag. Black bag with Cate Blanchett, it's a black bag, it's a black bag. A black bag with Cate Blanchett.